Good morning to all of you. Today we will discuss about the branch instructions. The branch instructions are used to transfer the control. Branch instructions are used to transfer the control from one location to the other location. To transfer the control of the program. To transfer the control of the program means how the control will be transferred by changing the program counter value. Why? Because the program counter is pointing to the address of the next instruction to be executed. So once the control is, we are doing by using branch instructions, we are transferring the control from one position to other position or from one location to the other location. Means that, okay, first we changing the PC program counter. That means the execution instruction will be transferred from the current instruction to the next somewhere, not in the next one. Suppose you are executing the instruction with the location, okay, with the instruction which is stored in the location 2000H, okay. Then, if it is a branch instruction, you cannot execute the next instruction unless that branch instruction is, if it is not satisfied, you can go to the next one. If it satisfies, you go to the some other. Okay, that is the meaning of that. Okay, we will come in later about what in detail about this. That is what we call as branching. And here basically this. Okay, I will give a simple example here. Here, just you see this, all of you. In this, if you are doing some task, this is task 1, this is task 2. Okay, task 2 is a part of this. Suppose the class is going on now. Okay, during the class, suppose I have some work, or the simple example, the written example is, once I come to the class, suppose the dust is not there in the class, for example. Okay, first I will discuss something about introduction or whatever it may be. After that, I want to use the board. Whenever I want to use the board, I don't find the duster there. So what can I do? All of you switch on your videos, but here no one. All of you switch on your videos. Once I don't find the duster in the class, what can I do? I will ask some of you are CR, okay, to go to staff room and get the duster. Okay, that is another task. Okay, that is what we call as, while one program is executing, we are doing other one. So during that time, what I will do? Okay, I have to wait for him. Then once I will get the duster, then I will clean it, then I will start it. Okay, that is the process of example of subroutine. While executing some program, you can call the other program. I think in your C, are you using the functions? Are you using the functions or not? Do you have the C lab or not in your first year? Your first year C lab chesara, have you done it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, in the C lab, did you study that call by value and call by reference functions?
Yes, sir.
Where that function is, the main program is it is a main. If you take any C program, the C program must have at least one function that is called main. Okay, in the main, again you are going to write many functions within that main. Okay, so this you call it as a main function, the first one. This you call it as this block you call it as a main function. In the main function, okay, you suppose you call a factorial function, or you call something else. Okay, You can call any function. Okay, you can call any function. That function will be this one. This is the sub function or subroutine. This is the main function. Whenever you call a particular subroutine, whenever you call a particular subroutine in the main function, what will happen? The control is transferred to that subroutine. The control is transferred to that subroutine. How this control is to be transferred to this directly? Is it go to that place? No. Whenever you call a particular subroutine, okay, call, suppose here you have to give the address, but in C, because it's a high level language program, you are giving a function here. But actually when it divides into, sorry, not when it converts into assembly program, when the C program converts into assembly program, that call followed by some address. That address will be nothing but the starting address of the subroutine. This address is nothing but the starting address of the subroutine. I think, do you find any problem with the switch on the videos? Do you find any problem of switch on the videos regarding bandwidth, etc.? Here, this call sub, before transferring the control from main program to subprogram, what is going to happen here is all the status of the program, the status of this program, that means at this step, at this instruction, at the call instruction, whatever the status of the processor or that is program, that means what is there in registers and what is there in all contents, that is status of the program. While running the program, okay, there is some status, that means all the registers are filled with some data. Okay, all the registers and all those things will be filled with some data. That process status means what the process status? This one. The process status is this, that is contents of all these registers. The processor of status is nothing but the flag, the register set, okay, which will have all the registers like this, registers and flag register and all the registers. This information is to be stored onto the computer, sorry, stored onto the stack. That is by using push operation. By using push operation, all the status of the processor, that means all the register contents, the flag register, are to be pushed onto the stack before the transfer is controlled from main program to the subprogram. I repeat once again, or you should be very clear about this. When the control is transferred from main program to the subroutine, okay, in this process, okay, all the, that is the simple word is status of the program. The simple word is the status of the program, means all the register set of the processor. All the register set of the processor is nothing but the status of this program. Okay, that is to be transferred to the stack by using push operation. Okay, the push operation is push A, means push all the register at once. Okay, there is a instruction called push A, means push all the registers. Okay, only push means it will push only one register. Push A means push all the register at once. Okay, all the registers, that is status of the program, is transferred onto the stack. Then the control is transferred from main program to the starting address of the subroutine. The starting address of the subroutine. Okay, once the program counter points the starting address of the subroutine, then it starts executing the entire subroutine program. Once the subroutine program is executed, at the end of the subroutine, there is an instruction called RET. It is a must. If you take any subroutine, okay, you should have the return statement. You should have the return statement. That is the end of the subroutine will have the return statement, RET. Okay. Whenever you find a RET statement, return statement, then whatever the processor, main program status, or whatever the processor registers. That means here the status of the program is nothing but the processor registers. Already I told that the program status is nothing but the processor registers. Okay, whatever the processor registers, that is program status, is already pushed onto the stack earlier. Okay, the same status, okay, which is on stack, the same status whatever you have pushed, that same thing is to be retrieved back. The same thing is retrieved back by using pop operation. The status whatever you push onto the stack while the control is transferred from main program to the subprogram, the same status means whatever the content you pushed, the same content you popped when you find a return statement. Okay, after popping that status, or after popping that status data content, okay, then you continue the remaining program. That means here the previous status is to be stacked. Why? Because here if you use the same thing here again, here they will be changed. It is not right now. Here suppose for example, while executing this program, R0 content will be suppose 20. Okay, without storing that, again if you use R0 here, what will happen? R0 will have some other value. So is it right? No. So each program here, I will repeat once again because this is a crucial one. This is main program, this is subprogram. The main program, while the main program is executing, there is an instruction called call some value, call some subroutine, call factorial function, or call some other function, ABC. Okay, ABC is a subroutine. Before the control is transferred from main program to the subroutine, okay, the process taken place is the status of this program means that all the registers of CPU, all the CPU registers, okay, at this juncture or at this point are to be stored onto the stack by using push operation. Then the control is transferred to the subroutine. Then the subroutine is executed. At the end of the subroutine, you find a return statement. Whenever you find a return statement, whatever the status you have pushed onto the stack earlier means before coming to this subroutine, the same status has to be retrieved. The same status has to be retrieved, okay, and continue the main program from where you stopped, wherever you stopped. So how do you find this? The address in the return statement, what you will do? All the status of the main program is to be retrieved. Okay, how do you find this? Because before transferring all this information where you have stopped, all this information is available in the status. So whenever you retrieve the status, automatically you find the address of the next instruction to be executed in the main program. Is it clear or not? Any doubt in this? Do you have any doubt in this concept? Do you have any doubt in this concept? Is it clear?
No, sir.
Concept is clear or not? Or do you want one more? Do you want to explain some in other way? Is it understood, or do
Yes,
you want the
sir.
explanation in different manner? Is it understood or not?
We understood, sir.
No. So I will repeat in simple fashion, that is within 1 minute. Subroutine call or subroutine program, these branch instructions are used to transfer the control from one location to the other location, or one program to the other program. Those are branch instructions. Example of branch instruction is a simple call. This is only an example. I will explain later what are the different branch instructions. First, you should understand the concept of the control is transferred from one to the other. A call instruction is there. There are two programs. One is the main program. There is main program. This is subprogram. Called program means subprogram. Calling routine means main program. In the main program, there is an instruction called call. Okay. This call followed by some label, that is SVB. SVB means subroutine. If you call that subroutine, the control is transferred from main program to the subprogram. Okay. While the control is transferred from main program to the subprogram, the status of the program, that means all the CPU register set is to be pushed onto the stack. Then only the control is transferred from main program to the subprogram. Then it continues to execute the subprogram. Always at the end of the subprogram, there is a return statement. Okay. Then the last instruction in the subroutine is always a return instruction. Whenever you find a return instruction, whatever the status you have pushed onto the stack, that status is to be retrieved back by using pop operations and continue the operation in the main program from where you stopped and continued from that onwards. Okay, this is the concept. Okay, next one. Can I move to the next one? Can I move to the next one? Next. These are the branch instructions. These are the branch instructions. Again, in the branch instruction, there are two types. Okay, unconditional branch instructions. Another one is conditional branch instructions. Unconditional branch instructions. Okay, another one is conditional branch. There are two types. One is conditional, another one is unconditional. Okay, there are two. The unconditional branch instructions are jump and call. Jump. Sometimes it is called JUMP, sometimes it is called JMP. That depends upon the processor. Okay. The instructions will be varied little bit based on the processor. In some process it may use JMP, in some process it may use jump. That depends. But both are same. Both convey the same meaning. Okay. JMP here. Okay. JMP means jump. Next one is call. I think I have heard about go to statement in C. Go to. Vinnara? Have heard about it? Go to statement in C. Go to statement. Okay. In high level language programming or in high level language, there is an instruction called go to. Go to some label. Okay. Go to some label. Label means nothing but address. Go to statement is there. Okay. Go to statement is there. For example, if I greater than 10 or greater than 9, go to. Okay. If this condition is satisfied, go to some location, ABC location. Okay. If this condition is satisfied, go to ABC. That means ABC is an address. Okay. Somewhere there is a address called ABC here, or label. Here somewhere you may write the ABC label. There is some instructions here again. Okay. Here there is some instructions, whatever it may be. Here it may be while, etc., or some b is equal to 5. Okay, whatever it may be. Some instructions are there here. Okay. This is like go to statement in high level algorithm. The same, that is similar to your jump here. That is similar to your jump. It is like a go to statement. In high level language, it is like a go to statement. Then again the call. Call is also an unconditional branch instruction. There are two unconditional branch instructions. They are jump and call. JMP and call. But what is the difference here between jump and call? Okay. What is the difference between both are unconditional? Both are unconditional instructions. Okay. This is like jump example. Okay. JMP here. Similarly, if I write the statement like this, if I greater than 9, okay, then you have to use some fact, suppose some function. This one. Okay. This is nothing but like your call instruction. This is nothing but like your call instruction. That means if that condition is satisfied, okay, fact is here we are calling a subroutine, whereas here we are calling a subroutine here, whereas here go to that place. Here whatever is there in here ABC, that you do it. That is the difference here. Here go to some address, whereas here what you will do, you are calling a subroutine here. This is like a call statement. Okay. That is the difference between these two. Call and jump. Okay. Jump is different and call is different. Both are unconditional branch instructions. Calling means you are calling a subroutine. You are calling a function. Okay. Jump means you go to that particular place, particular address. Okay. That is here. This is fixed. Jump location is here. You are giving a fixed label where you have addressed. Then here, what about the call? Call will be you are calling some program, okay, which is there in the main memory or somewhere. It is generally it is in main memory. All the programs are in main memory. So you are calling a program or subroutine by using the call statement. Then if you want more, you can note down jump versus call. Okay, you note down this. Okay, a jump instruction permanently changes the program counter. Why? Because it is already there. Jump some location ABC fixed. Okay, immediately the program counter is stored with that and it points to that. And jump instruction permanently changes the program counter. A call instruction leaves information on the stack, whatever I told earlier. Okay, so that the original program execution sequence can be resumed. Okay, this is nothing but whatever I told just now. This is whatever I told earlier. That is in this, whatever I told in the subroutine call. Okay, the same thing is here. Okay, a call instruction leaves the information on the stack so that original program execution sequence can be resumed. So how it can be done? How it leaves the information onto the stack? How it leaves the information on the stack? By using what? Tell me. By using what instruction you are going to leave information on the stack?
Push.
Push, by using push operation. Okay. What type of information it is storing on stack? What type of information is storing on stack?
Flag.
Pardon? What information? A call instruction leaves information on the stack. So what information it leaves on that in the stack? It leaves what information on the stack? Huh? A call instruction leaves, yes, tell me.
Flag. అంటే లాస్ట్ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఫ్లాగ్ అని అలా చేయడం ఫ్లాగ్స్ అని లో అవన్నీ ఫ్లాగ్ మీద
Can you be louder? Can you speak louder? I could not hear you properly.
కాల్ కి ముందు ఉన్న ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయినప్పుడు ఆ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ యొక్క డేటా అంటే ఫ్లాగ్స్ ఫ్లాగ్ అలాంటి ఫ్లాగ్స్ అనేవి
ఆ
హై అండ్ లో
ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ కాదు, ఆ ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్ అని కాదు, total program. That the program status. That means whatever the program you have executed till that step, okay. For that, the data will be generally stored in the registers and all those things. Yes, that is the CPU register set. The CPU register set. The entire CPU register set. The entire CPU register set is to be stored onto the stack. That is called the status of the program. The status of the program at that point. The status of the program at that point. Not always. Again, it will be changed. The status will be changed continuously. Okay. A call instruction leaves the status information of the program. Status. A call instruction leaves the status information of the program. Program means of the current program on the stack. Okay. So that why it is to be onto the stack? The purpose is so that the original program execution sequence can be resumed. So we are storing the status onto the stack for the purpose of resuming the sequence of operation in the main program. Okay, that is the purpose of that. Why you are storing on that is for resuming the previous program. From where you stopped again, you can start from there onwards. Okay. For that purpose, you have pushed onto the stack. Okay. When the control is transferred and when the control is returned again by using the return statement, that status is to be retrieved by using pop operation. Okay. That is call statement. Then call is an instruction that transfers the program control to a subroutine with the intention of coming back to the main program. So whenever you use a call instruction, it means that again the control is coming back to the main program. That is the meaning of that. Okay. Then thus in call 8086 saves the addresses of the next instruction, okay, to the stack before branching to the subroutine. Here they told only the address of the next instruction to be next instruction. Okay. Thus in call 8086 saves the address of the next instruction into the stack, into the stack before branching to the subroutine. Here it means only PC, not only PC, all the register set is to be pushed. Not only PC, all the register set will be pushed. Okay, all the register set, not only PC. Here they told only PC because only for the comparison, but all the register set will be pushed. Okay. Then at the end of the subroutine, control transfers back to the main program using the return address of the stack. Okay. There are two types of call, near call and far call. This I will clarify it later. Why? Because if you want to explain about near call and far call, you should be clear about the segmentation. Okay. Okay, anyway, I will explain. Here, any doubt is there between jump and call? The differences? Do you have any doubt? Okay. Then in C also, you will have the keywords near and far. Near and FAR. Near means, near and what is the meaning of near? Near, tell me in Telugu.
దగ్గర
Far.
దగ్గర దూరం.
So what is the meaning of this? Near call means? Near call means within the segment. So akkade, suppose I asked to call, okay, some person in your block. Okay, suppose there are 3 blocks in our college. Suppose I call a person. I ask one of you to call a person, okay, who is nearby. That means who is within the same block. That is called near block, near call. Suppose I ask you to call somebody else who is there in other block. Then that is called far call. Here in the case of microprocessor, we have a segmentation concept. Segmentation means, some days back I told that there are segment registers. I heard about it. Code segment, stack segment, okay. Similarly, code segment, data segment. Data means which is stored for data, which is meant for data. Similarly, stack segment and extra segment. 4 I told. Code segment, data segment, stack segment, extra segment. I told 4 segments. That means the same memory is divided into different parts. Some part will be used for the code purpose. Some part will be used for storing the data purpose. For some part of the memory is used for the stack purpose. Some part is used for other purposes. Okay. That is like only division, only for the sake of that is one of the concept used in the memory, segmentation. Okay. In such case, okay, we are going to use near call and far call. Near call, and there is a limit of only 64K. If your call is within that limit, you will call it as near call. If it is beyond that, okay, it will be like a far call. Okay. I will give the correct information about this now. So near call limit. There is some limit for near call and far call. Near call limit of address range. I think it is 64 or some. This one, near call. Near call address range. I think it will be sections. Yes, this is here. See this, a near jump where the jump range is limited to -128 to +128. So total 256, not 64. Total 256. Okay, the total for near call. Okay, the range of up and down, that is +128, -127 to plus, or -128 to +127, -128 to plus 127 is the limit of near range. That means from the current location, okay, you can move to maximum of 256. That is -128. Okay, that is one side. Another side is 127. Okay, that is decrementing and incrementing. If you move forward, that is incrementing address. If you move back, okay, if you move back, that is minus address. Okay, total 256. If it is beyond that, you can call it as for call. Okay, is it clear now or not? Do you have any doubt in this? Jump versus call. Do you have any doubt? Do you have any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Doubt on? Do you have any doubt in this? Can I?
No, sir.
Okay. Can I move to the next topic?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then here are the jump and call are there. These two are. This is like go to statement. Call. Okay. Again in call there is near call and for call. Here there is near call and for call. Okay. These are the things we have completed. Unconditional branch instructions we have completed. Okay. Now we will come to the conditional branch instructions. Now we will come to the conditional branch instructions. In the conditional branch instructions, okay, in all the conditional branch instructions, okay, you should, in all the conditional branch instructions, we should use the flag register. You should use the flag register bits. In the conditional branch instructions, we are using the flag register bits of a processor or of a CPU. In the conditional branch instructions, we are using the flag register bits of the CPU. Okay. Then next point. What is a flag register? The flag register gives the information or gives the status information. The flag register gives the status information of the CPU. The flag register gives or represents, okay, the flag register gives or represents the status information of the CPU. Okay. The flag register bits are, this is an example of, this is the flag register of 8086. This is the flag register of 8086. This is this one. Arithmetic and logical unit. In this, there is a flag register called this one. Is it visible? Is it visible? This
Yes,
part,
sir.
this part only, not others. Others, the total one is the register. Total one is the register set. Out of all these things, the flag register is this. You note down. It is a 16-bit register. 0th bit is carry bit. 0, 1, 2. Second bit is parity bit. Okay. Third is empty. 0th bit is carry bit. First bit is empty. Okay. Then second bit is parity bit. Third bit is auxiliary carry. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is also empty. Okay. 4. Fourth bit is auxiliary carry flag. Fifth is again empty. Sixth bit is 0 flag. Seventh bit is sign flag. So on. Is it visible to you or can I expand it? Is it visible or expand? Can I expand?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Visible. You take only this register. All of you note down this. All of you note down this register. 0 bit is carry. Okay. Bit number 1 is empty. Bit number 2 is parity bit. Bit number 3 is empty. Bit number 4 is auxiliary carry. Bit number 5 is empty. 6 is 0 flag. Seventh bit is sign flag. Okay. 0 to 7 means it is a byte. That is the lower byte of, I have explained only the lower byte of the flag register. Then the higher byte of flag register contains trace, interrupt, direction, and overflow. It is a 16-bit register. Flag register is here in 8086. The flag register is a 16-bit register. 16-bit register means it has 2 bytes. There is lower byte and upper byte. Okay. Can I move to the next one? Can I move to the next one? Or we want some more time to
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then here, what do you mean by sign flag here? So we are going to discuss one by one. So when it will be 1, when it will be 0, etc. Okay. That is 7th bit of the flag register is sign flag. 7th bit of flag register is sign flag. Okay. So when it will be set, when it will be reset. Okay. When the sign flag is 1, what is the meaning of that? When the sign flag is 1, what is the meaning of it? All of you note down this. For sign flag, all of you note down this. For sign flag, all of you note down this. For sign flag, all of you note down this one. If the sign flag is 1, that means MSB is 1. It means that it is negative. If that means the sign bit is 0. If the sign bit is 0, if the sign bit is 0, what do you mean that? The MSB is 0. The MSB is 0. It means that the number is positive. Already I told earlier, if the most significant bit is 1 in the sign magnitude representation, that is a negative number. If the sign bit is 0, that is most significant bit. Always the most significant bit is the sign bit in sign magnitude representation. If the sign bit is 1, it means that negative number. If the sign bit is 0, it means that it is a positive number. Generally, the sign bit is the most significant bit in sign magnitude representation. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? Okay. Do you have any doubt in this sign flag? Do you have any doubt in the sign flag? Do you have any doubt in the sign flag? If you have, you can raise. You can ask the doubt. Can I move to the next one? Can I move to the next one?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Next flag is, this is an example of sign flag. Here, you see here, this is an example. Move immediate A30. Move immediate A, 30. Similarly, move immediate B, 30. What is the meaning of this? These are 8086 instructions. Okay. Move immediate. MEI means in earlier instructions we are writing MOVE, MOV like that. Okay. That depends upon the, that is general. That depends upon the processor. The instruction set will be little bit changed. Okay. Some CPUs may use MOVE. Some CPUs may use only MOV. Okay. Okay. And here also use MOV, but it is MEI, means immediate addressing mode. It means What is the earlier one? What we have in the previous case? In the previous case of understanding, what you have done? MOVE. It is only for the sake of understanding. What you have done? Hash. I'll compare that also to 30, comma A. Yes. This type of instructions we have learned earlier. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The earlier we have explained or learned the instructions like this: move hash 30, comma A. This means that move 30 data to register A. That's what we learned earlier. Yes. That is a general instruction. But here the specific example is given, okay, with the 8086 assembly language. With the 8086 assembly language. From somewhere I have simply copied it. Okay. Understood? So the instruction is here, MEI. That is move immediate. Only to explain about the variations, I am taking different processes. Okay. So wherever, whether you write MOVE hash 30, comma A, that is also acceptable in the examination. If I write MUI A, comma 30 also, it is acceptable. Understood? Anything is acceptable. But here, what is followed? What is the syntax followed here? Opcode followed by, what is this? Source or destination, first one. Source or destination?
Destination, sir.
Source followed by destination. Okay. This is the syntax of, this is the syntax of what? This is the syntax of what? This is the syntax of what processor?
Motorola, sir.
Motorola processor. But the above one, MUI A, comma 30. Here, A is source operand or destination operand here?
Destination.
Huh?
Destination operand, sir.
Yes, A is destination operand, 30 is source operand. So this is, here the format is opcode followed by source followed by, sorry, destination followed by source. Okay, this is Intel. This is Intel processor. Whereas here, what it follows? This Motorola processor. Here it follows opcode followed by source followed by destination. This is Motorola. Okay. Understood or not? Is it clear? This is Motorola, this is Intel. So don't confuse here. Only for the sake of understanding, I have given all those examples. This is 8086 instruction, that is Intel processor about this, whereas the same functionality is with Motorola processor here. But the syntax are differed here. Okay. In the case of Intel, the syntax will be this: opcode followed by RD, RS, that is destination followed by source. Whereas in Motorola, opcode followed by source followed by destination. So the syntax will be this: here MUI, whereas here MOVE. So that depends upon the processor, the instruction will be a little bit changed, but it will convey the same meaning. MOVE means move, MUI means move immediate. Okay. Is it clear? So in the similar fashion, okay, for every, whenever in the examination, if you find a question on instruction set, okay, the first two lines, okay, you mention is the Intel instruction format is this, the Motorola instruction format is this, so that the examiner will understood that this guy, this student will know the concept. So he will come to that idea. Okay. Understand? So obviously you will have a good impression on you. So whenever you write the instructions, there also you write it is For which processor? Motorola processor or Intel processor or ARM processor? So that you will understand, okay, better. Better means the good opinion, okay. Otherwise, they may also confuse sometimes. Okay. Here A 30 is stored in A, again 40 is stored in B. If you subtract those two, A minus B, what will happen? What will happen? What is the result? Is it positive result or negative result? Is it positive result or negative result?
Negative.
It is negative result. That is 30 minus 40. 30 minus 40. How much it is? It is minus 10.
Minus 10.
So that means sign flag is set 1 or 0?
1.
1.
Set 1.
Because the result is negative number. Because the result is negative number, so the sign flag is set. Then the other example. If 4 zeros loaded in A and 3 zeros loaded in B, then A minus B here. If 4 0 is loaded in A and 3 0, that is second case. That is second example here. Move immediate A 4 0. Here comma. Actually there is a comma, but in that it is not there. But as per the syntax, there will be a comma. Okay. Move A comma, move immediate MUI means move immediate. A comma 4 0, move immediate B comma 3 0. That is 4 0 is loaded in A, 3 0 is loaded in B. Okay. Then sub B. Sub B means A is equal to A minus B. In that case, what is the result? 10. 10 means is positive number or negative number?
Positive.
Positive number. So what about the sign flag?
0.
Sign flag is 0. Okay. This is an example of how the sign flag is set or reset. Now is it clearly understood? Now is it
Yes,
clearly
sir.
understood or not? Any doubt in this sign flag?
Sir.
Okay. Next one is zero flag. Next one is zero flag. Here, this also, when all these flag registers or flags will be affected, when these flags are to be affected, there is a general question that is very important. When flag bits are affected, when flag bits are affected, when flag bits are affected, what will be the answer? The flag bits are affected, note down. The flag register or flag bits, the flag register or flag bits are affected only the flag register or flag bits are affected only for arithmetic, only for arithmetic and logical instructions results. I will repeat once again. The flag register or flag bits are affected only for arithmetic and logical instruction results only. Okay. Only for arithmetic and logical instruction results. Okay. Here I will, here you see zero flag. What is zero flag here? When you are doing arithmetic or logical operations, if the result is 0, if the result is 0, it means that zero flag is set. Okay. If the result is not 0, okay, suppose 30 minus 30, 30 minus 30. Here, for example, you see this 10 minus 10, it gives 0. Okay, or any results. Suppose A is 20, B is 20. Okay, A minus B, what is the result? 0. So whenever you have a result of 0 because of arithmetic, any arithmetic or logical operations, the 0 flag is set. If the result is not 0, if the result is not 0 due to arithmetic or logical instructions, then the 0 flag is reset. Reset means 0. Set means 1. Are clear or not? Whenever you get a 0 result because of arithmetic or logical operations, the 0 flag is set. Set means 0 flag is 1. 0 flag is 1. If the result is not 0 because of arithmetic or logical instructions, the 0 flag is reset, that is 0. Reset means 0, set means 1. Here you take an example here. Okay. Then you take one more example, that is move immediate A comma 0 0 H. What about this now? 0 flag is set or reset now? Here what will happen? What will happen here? 0 flag is set or reset here?
Set, sir.
Why? Why it is set?
Because the destination is 0.
The destination is 0.
0.
Right. But what type of operation it is? What type of operation it is? Is it arithmetic operation? Is it arithmetic operation? Huh? Is it arithmetic operation? Tell me yes or no. Is it arithmetic operation? Move immediate is an arithmetic operation. Yes or no? Say anything, no problem. Even it is right or wrong, no problem. I will correct it. MUI is an arithmetic operation. Yes or no?
Sir.
Huh?
Sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
What are the arithmetic operations? Tell me.
Multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction.
Yes, add, sub, mul, DAV. Only 4. Move instruction is only data transfer instructions. They are not arithmetic instructions. Move instructions are data transfer instructions. Move instructions are data transfer instructions. Move instructions are data transfer instructions. MOV, MOVE, MEI, all these things. All move instructions are data transfer instructions. Here MEI is a data transfer instruction. Because of that, the accumulator is loaded with 0. Okay. With the data transfer instruction, the accumulator is loaded with 0. That is destination register. Now, what about 0 flag? Is it set or reset?
Set.
No, it is not set. It is reset only. Why? Because it is not a arithmetic operation. It is not a logical operation. The flag register is affected. I will repeat once again. The flag register or flag bits are affected only for arithmetic or logical instruction results. Okay. The flag register will not be affected for move instructions. Okay. The flag register bits or flag register is not affected because of move instructions. Is it clear? The flag register or flag bits are affected only, okay, are affected only with the results of arithmetic operations or logical operations. ఆ రెండిట్లోనే for arithmetic instructions and logical instruction results only the flag register is affected, not with other instructions. Here move immediate a comma 0 0. Even though 0 is loaded with a, the flag register is not set here. That is reset. That means 0. Reset means 0. Okay. Is it clear? Suppose if it is like clear accumulator, suppose for example now, for example, otherwise a and d and a comma 0 0 h. Now
Set.
what will happen? Now zero flag is set. Zero flag is set means 1. In both the cases, what will be the result of a? What the a contains in both the cases? In both the cases, a is equal to 0. In both the cases, a is equal to 0, but in this case, the 0 flag is reset, but in this case, 0 flag is set. Did you find the difference here? Did you find the difference? Did you find the difference here? Okay. When the flag register is affected, when the flag register is not affected. Because it is a logical operation, because of logical operation, the accumulator content becomes 0. So the 0 flag is set. Whereas here, it is data transfer instruction. Okay. Because of data transfer instruction, the accumulator content becomes 0. So here, it will not be affected. Okay. Is it clear or not? Okay. The flag register is affected only, all of you know down that point, the flag register or flag bits, okay, affected only for arithmetic and logical instructions. Okay. Clear? This is the purpose of 0 flag. Now is it clear to all of you? When 0 flag is set, when we
perform an arithmetic or logical operation, if we got the result as 0, then
yes. That arithmetic and logical operations is valid for all the bits, not only for 0 bit. Valid for all, not only for 0. It is valid for all the flag bits. Okay. If you get 0 result, if you get the result as 0, then 0 flag is set. Okay. If the result is not 0, the 0 flag is reset. That is 0. Okay. If the result is 0, it is set. If the result is not 0, it is reset. Reset means 0, set means 1. Okay. Whereas arithmetic and logical instructions is valid for all the bits, not only for 0. It is valid for all the bits. Okay. Any doubt? Sign flag, is it clear to you? Sign is clear and 0 is also clear. Clear to all of you? Do you have any doubt or is it okay?
okay, sir.
Then after that, the next one is carry flag. The next one is carry flag. Carry flag means here when you are doing addition or subtraction, this carry flag is to be affected. Okay. When you are doing addition or subtraction, this carry flag is to be affected. Or when carry flag is affected, if you are doing addition or subtraction, while doing addition or subtraction, this carry bit is affected. Similarly, the carry bit is affected for shift and rotate operations also. The carry bit is affected for shift and rotate operations also. Okay. Here first to discuss about the carry is generated when performing, okay, n bit operations and the result is more than n bits. Okay. Then this flag becomes set. That is one. That means if the result is beyond the register, that means if it is overflow. Okay. If it is beyond the register size, then carry flag is set. Okay. A minus B. If A is greater than B, it becomes reset. If A less than B, it becomes set. You see here. Carry flag is also called borrow flag. Borrow flag means when it is to be used during subtraction. Okay. During subtraction, this carry flag is used as a borrow flag. During addition, it is used as carry flag. During addition, it is used as carry flag. During subtraction, it is used as borrow flag. This is an example. All of you take this example because for better understanding. This is 8086 program. Here you note down here A is 30 and B is 40. If I write A minus B, means how much is the result? Result is minus 10. Okay. Why? Because you need to, in the case of 30 minus 40, it is minus 10. That means you need to take the borrow. You need to take the borrow here. It is minus 10. Similarly, 30 minus 40, A is 40 and B is 30. In that case, is it generate any carry? It does not generate any carry. Okay. Suppose in the case of 8-bit, if you add 130 and 150. Okay. If it is 8-bit digit, if it is a 8-bit digit, one number is 130 and another number is, okay, 140. Then you will get a carry or not? If A is 130, okay, another example. This is in the case of only for the sake of understanding, they have taken only borrow. Suppose this is the content. Then is the carry flag is set or reset in this case? In this case, the carry flag is set or reset?
It's
Yes.
It's
Here also the carry flag is set. Why?
because we get borrow.
So 130 plus 140, you will get, the answer is 270. 270 is greater than 256. Okay. Because of 8-bit, what is the maximum number you can store? What is the maximum number you can store? Only 0 to 255. 0 to 255 only you can store it. Okay. 270 means it is beyond 255. That is beyond the 8 bits. Okay. It is beyond 8 bit. It is beyond 8 bits. Because 130 plus 140 is equal to 270, which is greater than 255. So here also the carry flag is set. Understood? This is addition operation. Remaining bottom two, these two are subtraction operations. Now is it clearly understood? The carry flag. Now is it clearly understood or not? Is it understood or not? Tell me, is it understood or not? What is the next hour? Next period?
Lika, sir.
లిపికా సార్
Is it there or
Undi, sir.
ఉంది సార్
at
11:30
11:30? Okay. So I will close it now. Okay.
ఓకే సార్
Tomorrow I will continue.
Okay.
Okay. From
Okay,
tomorrow
sir.
onwards, you have to start with each question. Each one has to explain me one question. Daily 10 members. Okay. Okay. Daily 10 members. You need to explain one question out of 6.